Hey folks, Mike Hoffman here from Aerial Observation Services, back with you again, talking about our good friend, the Piper Warrior behind me, and we're relating things as far as aviation to the RPAS, remotely piloted aircraft systems. So we were talking in an earlier lesson about how this aircraft produces the various flight attitudes by using differential thrust. We talked a little bit about the three flight attitudes: pitch, roll, and yaw. But we didn't get too much into how the actual RPAS produces those various flight attitudes. So we'll get into that now with you. So let's just talk about those as individual pieces. Let's talk about the pitch attitude and how that's created. So how we would produce pitch on an RPAS is we would utilize its differential thrust. How we would accomplish that is we would be, through our remote controller, slowing down engines 1 and 2 at the front of the aircraft, while simultaneously picking up the speed of engines 4 and 3 on the rear of the aircraft, and that would pitch the aircraft forward. And that would enable us to accelerate or pick up speed. We could put the brakes on the aircraft in the opposite manner by picking up the speed of props 1 and 2 and slowing down the rear propellers 4 and 3. And we would end up in a rear tilted pitch attitude. If we want to create roll in the RPAS, we would do that by, again, creating differential thrust by slowing down engines 1 and 4 and picking up the speed of engines 2 and 3 would roll this aircraft to the left. Opposite to that, we could roll this aircraft right by doing the opposite. We could pick up the speed of engines 1 and 4 while slowing down engines 2 and 3, and that would roll the aircraft to the right. If we want to yaw this aircraft, we do that by creating differential thrust on the corners of the RPAS. So how we would do that is we would slow down engine 1, pick up the speed of engine 3, and we would remain constant on engines 2 and engines 4, and that would create a yawing in this aircraft to the left. If I want to do the opposite, once again, I would simply put the controls in on the RC, which would slow down the propeller on engine number 2. It would pick up the speed slightly on engine 4's propeller, and what would remain constant is propellers 3 and 1, and that would therefore yaw the aircraft to the right. Now when we're flying and we teach basic flying in our basic piloting course, we teach our students to do basic yaw turns, or skidding turns, they're referred to sometimes as well. And that's when the aircraft simply yaws either left or right, and it actually skids through the air until it starts to make a turn and go in the direction that's desired. We can do turns that way. When we get into advanced flying, we start to teach our students that in order to make a very efficient or coordinated turn, what we would want to do is not only do yawing of the aircraft, but we'd also want to add in roll with our yaw, which would produce a very smooth coordinated turn. And we do that in the general aviation aircraft as well. Behind me, we do a similar style of turn in those aircraft by coordinating rudder and ailerons at the same time to produce the same type of coordinated turn effort, which produces a very efficient and very high-performing turn. So hopefully you found that information helpful today, and we're talking a little bit about how the RPAS creates those various flight attitudes that we've talked about before, and that is pitch, roll, and yaw. Hopefully you've enjoyed this segment and you'll tune in next time. My name is Mike, and this is Aerial Observation Services here at Excel Flight Training Center. Thanks for coming around.